A warm welcome to you, our Israel Brief family and community. And if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Rolene Marks, and this is the Israel Brief, where we take a look at what's happening in Israel every Monday to Thursday. In fact, we bring you the news from Israel that you won't get in the mainstream media. So if you want your daily fix of Israeli news, visit us every single Monday to Thursday. And the Israel Brief would not be possible without Lay of the Land, and more about where you can find Lay of the Land on our various platforms a little later in the show. So let's get on with those very important headlines. It is day 256 of Israel's war with Hamas. And a reminder to you that if you have any questions for me, you can just pop them in the comments section below, or pop them on Facebook, or even email it to us at layotland@gmail.com. That's layotland@gmail.com. And even if you want to join our weekly newsletter distribution list, pop us a message there as well. So housekeeping over, let's take a look at those top stories, and we begin with news about hostages. This comes from a senior Israeli negotiator who requested not to be named, and he said that there are still tens of Israeli hostages that are still alive. He did caution that time is running out. We need to get them out of there. They cannot be left there. If they are, they will die soon. And we are hearing more and more about the absolutely horrific conditions that hostages not only were held in, but the impact and the effect of being held hostage and subjected to physical and psychological torture has had on these various hostages. Their stories are absolutely harrowing. Yesterday I had the privilege and the opportunity of attending a conference in Sderot with the Hostages Forum, and I don't know where the families get their fortitude, their strength from. I don't know where the hostages released get their incredible strength to go on and advocate for the 120 who still remain hostage. Earlier today, the Prime Minister's office said that he will be visiting families of those whose loved ones have been murdered in captivity by Hamas. Now, the Prime Minister has faced quite a lot of criticism for not meeting with these families, and he will do so on Thursday. Meanwhile, yesterday, President Isaac Herzog spoke to the family of Nepalese hostage Bipin Joshi. And that just goes to show you that the issue of hostages is not just an Israeli issue. There are hostages who have dual citizenship or were in Israel visiting from numerous countries, including Nepal, Thailand, Colombia, the United States, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Ukraine, and others. And a global issue requires a global response. So we call on everybody around the world, don't let our hostages disappear from global consciousness. They aren't just our people, they are your people as well. And we need to remind the world, not bring them home, release them now. Release them now. The Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, hosted a screening of Sheryl Sandberg's documentary Screams Before Silence. Now, the documentary is available on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, it is called Screams Before Silence. I urge every single person, even though it is absolutely harrowing to watch, I urge every single person to watch it and bear witness to the crimes of sexual violence committed against Israeli women and girls on the 7th of October, and also share it as much as possible. We need the world not to forget, not to deny, and to bear witness. In her opening comments, The Vice President said that we cannot look away and cannot be silent in the face of the atrocities. And she also cautioned that as more hostages are, please God, released from captivity in Gaza or rescued by our brave IDF and Yamam forces, like they were just several weeks ago, that we will probably hear more accounts of sexual violence. However, there are some controversies. The White House released their fact sheet on actions to be taken on sexual violence in conflict zones, and notably missing from the list of countries that included Sri Lanka, Haiti, Ukraine and others was Israel. And we in Israel are feeling very, very insulted by that, as denial about these atrocities, despite the overwhelming evidence grows. We need to ensure that the experience, the horrific crimes of sexual violence committed against our women and girls, and yes, some of our male hostages, is also there at the forefront of the global community. I24 News reporting earlier today that the IDF is in control of about 60 to 70% of Rafah. Rafah, we believe, is the last stronghold of Hamas, and the news network said that the remaining 2 battalions, or the 2 battalions in Rafah, had been overrun. We also heard some very, very unusual criticism from the IDF towards a right-wing journalist. The journalist accused the IDF of wanting Hamas to remain in control of Gaza, and this prompted a very, very strong rebuke. And finally, we go to the Maldives, not willingly, but we have to go there from a news perspective. And the Attorney General of the Maldives, addressing a press conference yesterday, said that the country will temporarily suspend the blanket ban on entry for Israeli passport holders. He said that the bill requires some scrutiny, and just a reminder to viewers that 20% of the Israeli population is Arab Israeli, both Christian and Muslim. The Attorney General referred to them as Palestinians. So what we see coming down the pipeline is that only Israeli Jews will be banned from entering the Maldives, and that smacks of something that we experienced in 1938. And on that note, our beaches in Israel are quite magnificent. We don't need to go to the Maldives. We are perfectly content to visit our own. Right, let's get into today's audience question. I love you guys. You guys challenge me. You keep those questions coming, and I do love me some homework. So today's question, also from somebody preferring to remain anonymous, has said, is anti-Zionism anti-Semitism? That is a great question, because essentially what we have seen in the last 8 months on university campuses and in the media and in the streets of global capitals is the very, very demonstration that anti-Zionism is indeed anti-Semitism. And here is why. First of all, let's define what Zionism is. Zionism, as simply put, and the best definition came from the great civil rights leader, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, when he said, Zionism, simply put, is nothing more than the Jewish people's yearning to return to their ancestral homeland. So basically, Zionism is the belief in the nation state of Israel, in the state of Israel as the nation state of the Jewish people, and the right of the Jewish people to return and have their state in their ancestral and historical homeland. Our homeland that we haven't left despite exile. We have always had a presence for thousands of years. And why is it anti-Semitic? Because to say that out of all the peoples in the world that deserve nationhood, that deserve to have a state of their own, to organize themselves politically and to have self-determination and determinate determine their own futures and have that sense of peoplehood, that the Jews are the only people not allowed to do that, well, that, my friends, is anti-Semitic. So the simple answer to the question, is anti-Zionism anti-Semitic? Well, yes. Yes, it is. And nobody else, except for the Jewish people, gets to define what anti-Zionism is and what anti-Semitism is. So I will now hop off my soapbox to tell you more about where you can find the Israel Brief. So you can find us right here on YouTube at the Israel Brief. And if you like our content, please hit that red subscribe button and share it as wide as possible. Our website is at layoftheland.online. That's www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook page is at LOTLSITE, that's at Lotl Site, and we're on X where all twits are, and you can find us at Lay of the Land 5. I'm Rolene Marks, wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Guys, you know what I always say, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I cannot wait to see you again for the Wednesday edition of the Israel Brief. Bye for now.